Marmalade here with Marmalade Outdoors. Thanks so much for joining me for my big channel update. So what is this update? Can you guess? I bet some of you guess. Let me give you a little hint. That's right, baby. For the fourth year in a row, I'm getting back on the Pacific Crest Trail in my quest to finish this beast of a trail. I'm going to tell you where I'm going, when, and how far in a minute. But for those of you who haven't watched any of my through hike or don't even know this, it's kind of new to my my channel. Let me tell you exactly what I did first. First of all, I attempted to hike the whole entire Pacific Crest Trail, which is 2,653 miles. And then I was going northbound, so I started at the Mexico-California border. And my plan is to hike the length of California, Oregon, Washington, finish at the Canadian border. In my year, it was 2019. Like I said, it was a El Nino winter, so very high winter. So the problem was I killed the desert pretty fast, faster than I thought, 702 miles, and then got to Canyon Meadows, and the snow was too deep, too much snow to go in. So most of us that were there decided to flip, what we call flipping. I waited 6 weeks. I flew up to Seattle. Thanks to a trail angel, I got a hitch up to the northern terminus, and the plan was to do the remainder of the trail southbound. I got about 200 miles into that and got hurt pretty badly, which ended my hike for 2019. So it went from trying to do it all in 1 year to do it over multiple years. So then in 2020, I decided to go to Ashland, Oregon, which is about 20 trail miles just above the California border. And I was going to do 750 miles and close that gap all the way up to Stevens Pass, where I got off trail the first year when I got hurt. I got about halfway through, I did 283 miles, and for some personal reasons got off trail, and so that was the end of 2020. So last year, 2021, I decided, because it was a low snow year, to go to Canyon Meadows, which I told you in the first year I stopped at 702 miles because of the snow levels. And do all the Sierras, do 455 miles up to Truckee, and the 80 up by Lake Tahoe. So that was the plan, but again, plans change. I did all the major passes in the Sierras. I even did Mount Whitney, which was a long time goal of mine, which is not the PCT, but it's my permit allowed me to do it for 1 day. So I did that, got all the major passes done. But then because of the fires up the Dixie Fire in Northern California, and then as I was hiking, the Caldor Fire started near Tahoe, it started closing the trail down slowly as I was going up. So my hike kept getting shorter and shorter. Then all of a sudden, one day, we found out they closed all the national forest in all of California. So I had to get out. I got out at Horseshoe Lake just before Red's Meadow near Mammoth. So the big question is, what am I doing this year? Well, the plan right now is my permit is for July 21st to go back in near Mammoth at Horseshoe Lake, where I got off last year. I'm going to get on. I have to do about 3.5 miles to connect back with the PCT. I only have about 3.5, 4 miles to get to Red's Meadow, but I'm going to go north, and my plan is to do 814 miles, so my second longest section I've done so far, up to Ashland, Oregon. And that's 814 miles. Like I said, that'll connect Mexico all the way to Sisters and Bend. And then from the north side, I did the terminus going down about 200 miles to Stevens Pass. So I will only have 463 miles left. Can you believe that? So I feel very lucky because my work allowed me to take 2 months leave to do this section of the trail. When I do the math and try to figure it out, obviously I don't know, it could be faster or slower. I think it's going to take about 6 to 7 weeks of the 2 months. And that's with all my Neros and Zeros in there and my hiking days. So I think 6 to 7 weeks is pretty doable. So I've actually spent a lot of time doing the resupply plan for this section of 814 miles. It turns out it's going to be about 12 resupply points. 2 or 3 of them will be boxes I send to myself because maybe there's a post office but not much of a chance to resupply there. One of the boxes actually, I'm going to be going through 2 pair of shoes. Being a bigger guy, I wear out shoes at about mile 400. If I try to stretch them out, my feet start to hurt. I learned that my initial year on the PCT when I stretched them out. So I have a place I picked out about 420 miles into the 814. So I'm going to send myself a pair of shoes there. So I'll go through 2 pair of shoes on this hike. But with the 12 resupplies, it averages out to about 68, an average of 68 miles per resupply. I have a couple that are close to 100. I have a few that are 30 and 40 miles, or not 30, but 40 and 50 miles, but it averages out to 68 miles per resupply, which is about a 3 or 4 day carry. So That right now is the plan. So that's pretty much the plan, but I have two more things for you. So what I learned about last year's hike in the Sierra was to have a backup plan. For some reason was naive and I didn't really plan anything out. I didn't expect the forest to close. I've never even heard of that. So I expected my hike to get a little shorter because of the fires, but I should have planned to skip up somewhere else and get some more significant miles done where it was above the fire and not in a national forest, but I didn't do that. So I'm doing that this year. So what I did was I spent a long time figuring out this 814 miles. And when I get that done, I might say I'll have 2,200 miles done of the whole trail to the mile, 2,200, and I'll only have 463 miles for next year. So what I think I'll do is I've thought about a lot. I've actually planned the resupply. I'm gonna figure out some ways if the fire, let's say fires start again in Northern California or somewhere in that area, and let's say I only get a couple hundred miles or halfway through and the fires, let's say there's fires and they close down the trail. I wanna have the ability to skip up somewhere and continue my hiking for the time that I have off from work. So I had that all planned. So I've essentially planned a second backup plan for the remaining 463 miles that I'm theoretically going to do next year, but I want to do part of it if I can this year. So that's the plan right now. And I said there was two things. Secondly, I have good news. I don't know if you watch his channel, but I've become good friends with the Hiking Rev. He completed the PCT in 2019, and he's completed the whole trail, but he wants to go in and do about a 300-mile section. So he'll be doing from the beginning when I get to Reds Meadow. He's going to start a little before me and then meet me at Reds Meadow. So he'll probably do 200, 250 miles with me, and then he's welcome. I've welcomed him to go all the way, the whole 800 miles if he wants. So I think he's going to see how he feels and just go as far as he feels like going and going. So you may see Rev in some of the videos. So that's great news. It'll be nice to have somebody to hike with to start with. The main thing with this is because I'm starting July 21st, most of the thru hikers are already past where I'm starting. So I might be alone a lot on this long section because where I'm at in the trail, I wouldn't, if I was to say I was thru hiking and was going all the way to Canada, I wouldn't finish in time. So most of the people that are going to finish are ahead of me, but there may be other hikers, or maybe I can get some friends or a tramley to hike with, but we'll see what happens when I get out there. Okay, that's about it. I hope you're as excited as I am about this. I will be doing, look for maybe a week or two before I actually go on July 21st. I'm going to put out a gear video like I usually do. My gear is always evolving. I've got new things, and depending on the section, I might add or subtract things, or warmer or cooler, things like that. It's going to be a pretty hot section, so I have to think about what I want to bring or not bring. But I look for a gear video for that if you're into that. I always do one for each long section that I do. Okay, that's about it. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you're excited with me. I don't know how many of you have followed me from the start, but I hope some. I will be making a daily video like usual for every single day on trail. In these small towns, it's hard to upload, so I don't know how far behind I'll get, but hopefully you'll stick with me on that. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so. It really helps out. Like this video. And one of the most important things is hit the notification bell up here so you're notified every time I post a new video. It really helps the channel out. The channel's growing pretty well, but I'm trying to really grow this thing. It's free to you. It doesn't cost a cent, so please consider doing that. Also, because I am off, I've been saving. I've been working 2 jobs since last year, but if you'd like to help support me and my hike, there's ways to do it down in the description box below, so check them out. If not, it's free to watch me, so do that. I'd love to have you come along, and I think that's it. I can't wait to get on trail, so let's do this. All right, see you down the trail.